our November 14th, 2024 legislative meeting. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yurden.
Present.
Edward Gilson's been marked excused. David Holz.
Here.
Roy Rehill.
Here.
John Martino.
Here.
Frank Lombardo.
Here.
Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Chesbro.
Here.
Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Rich Patrick Twist has been marked excused. Stephen Walpole's been marked excused. Kevin Hill.
Here.
James Scanlon.
Here.
Charles Berger.
Here.
Robert Wilmot.
Here.
Marie Shaw.
Here.
Paul Conley.
Here.
Noel Samuelson.
Here.
James Karasik.
Here.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Mark Greco.
Here.
Frank Castilla.
Wouldn't miss it.
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 present, 3 excused. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you now lead us in the invocation?
As we come together today, let us give thanks for this opportunity to serve our community. Help us to be kind to one another as we confront difficult decisions. Let us remember that we all wish for a healthier, happier, more prosperous tomorrow, and that the debates we enter are only to decide which road to take. Grant us clarity of purpose, courage, and resolve in all we do, and protect us from all distractions.
Today's pledge will be led by veterans Herb and Mike Yurden, who I know are 7 out of 8 in their family serve.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I trust we've seen the minutes from the regular legislative meeting on October 10th. So moved. Second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. At this time, could I have the EDP committee and Rachel Pierce come forward for National Apprentice Week?
Everybody ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. I did the honor of reading this proclamation for you regarding National Apprentice Week. So, whereas National Apprenticeship Week is celebrating its 10th anniversary of raising awareness of the vital role of registered apprenticeships provide in creating opportunities by allowing apprentices to earn while they learn and prepare a pathway to good quality jobs, well-paying careers in Oswego County and across the nation. And whereas registered apprenticeship programs enable employers to develop and train their future workforce while offering career seekers affordable paths to secure high-paying jobs. And whereas Oswego County recognizes the role of registered apprenticeship in expanding opportunities in our workforce that are inclusive of individuals who have been historically underserved, marginalized, and adversely affected by persistent poverty and inequality, thus providing a path for all qualified individuals to become apprentices and contribute to America's industries. And whereas apprenticeship is proven and industry-driven training model and is key strategy to improving job quality, creating access to good-paying, family-sustaining jobs for all, starting with youth and young adults while addressing some of our nation's pressing workforce challenges, such as rebuilding our country's infrastructure, addressing critical supply chain demands, supporting clean energy, workforce, modernizing our cybersecurity response, and responding to care economy issues. And now, therefore, James Weatherup, Chairman of Oswego County Legislature, on behalf of the entire legislature, do hereby proclaim November 17th, 2024 through November 23rd, 2024 as National Apprenticeship Week. Rachel, would you like to say a few words?
No, I just wanted to say thank you, the recognition of this with how important apprenticeship is to our community, for those that are really looking to change their career, being able to earn while they learn. And a lot of our work right now is working on those pre-apprenticeship programs to really prepare people to be successful in these registered apprenticeships in New York State.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're gonna be right back up, guys. I thought we were second. Oh, you're not gonna do it?
Could I have the Human Services Committee and Veterans Director Eric Boozer please come forward for Operation Green Line?
Is everybody ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
So, the Oswego County Legislature wanted to recognize Operation Green Light. Whereas the residents of Oswego County have great respect, admiration, and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served our country and this community in the armed forces. And whereas contributions and sacrifices of the men and women that served in the armed forces have been vital in maintaining the freedoms and way of life enjoyed by our citizens. And whereas Oswego County recognizes the unique and difficult nature of military service during wartime, and the commensurate, unique, and difficult nature of transition to civilian life. And whereas veterans continue to serve our community in numerous ways, from individual efforts and volunteering, and in organizations and coordinated activities. And whereas Oswego County appreciates the sacrifices of our military personnel while defending freedom, and believes specific recognition should be accorded in appreciation of their service and to demonstrate the honor and support they have earned. And whereas Oswego County seeks to honor these individuals who have performed their duties honorably in the name of freedom by placing themselves in harm's way for the good of all. So now therefore be it resolved that James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, and on behalf of our entire legislature, recognize Operation Green Light and encourages our citizens and businesses to honor those who immeasurably sacrifice and preserve our freedom by displaying a green light during the month of November.
So I would just like to say, as much as it is that veterans appreciate when they're thanked for their service in person, it's the little things that really stand out. A lot of veterans are going to tell you that they don't want you to thank them. They didn't do it to be thanked. They did it because they want to serve their country. But it's the small things like the POW MIA flags and the bumper stickers and the green lights on front porches that as we're driving around town or as we're out doing our thing that we see those, and it really shows, especially when the government organization is doing it. So it lets us know that it is appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have the Human Services Committee stay forward, and could we have Sarah Sunday come forward for National Family Caregiver Month?
On the 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
So this proclaims November as National Family Caregivers Month. Whereas National Family Caregivers Month recognizes more than 40 million people in the United States who serve as unpaid caregivers with generous hearts and faithful devotion. And whereas each day in homes throughout our nation, Americans with chronic or terminal illnesses, functional impairment, or disabilities receive compassionate care and support from family members and loved ones. And whereas over 90 million Americans today are family caregivers for their loved ones, and whereas caregivers play an essential role in ensuring the health and well-being of those in most need, managing their medications, doctor's appointments, and balancing work and home. And whereas family caregivers provide a vital lifeline of connection and hope to loved ones during challenging and uncertain days, devoting immeasurable time, energy, and resources. And whereas throughout this month, let us remember these men and women who spend their days caring for others while balancing responsibilities of their own lives, including employment and raising their children. And whereas caregiving is overwhelming, and with the growing responsibility of family caregivers in our country, it is important to them and to provide unending support as they carry on this important work. Therefore, now, James Weatherup, Chairman of the Oswego County Legislature, and on behalf of our entire legislature, we hereby proclaim November as National Family Caregivers Month.
I just want to say that here in New York State, the number that they provide to me for caregivers is 4.1 million, but I know that number is much greater. Many people are providing caregiver type services and they don't look at themselves as a caregiver. They look at themselves as a son or a daughter or a wife or a husband just doing what needs to be done to keep their loved one going to the pharmacy, picking up a prescription, going and gathering some groceries, or bringing someone to their doctor appointment. Those are all caregiver type services. And I just want to recognize everyone. I'm sure every one of you in this room has contributed some, whether it's a family member, a neighbor, a loved one. I know that you're all caregivers in your own way, and I thank you all.
Thank you.
I have the Public Safety Committee come forward along with Sheriff Hilton for a retirement for Kevin Ahart.
We're here to recognize Kevin Ahart, Sergeant Ahart, for both 25 years of service to the county, to the sheriff's office, and to recognize him for his retirement at the end of the month. The last decade has it been? 8 years? 11 years. Kevin's had the very difficult task of running and keeping track of our sex offender registry list here in the county. It's a vital job. Keeps these people from reoffending. We know where they are when there is an accusation. And he's done a great job at it, and we really appreciate it. I don't know if it's good or bad. I haven't figured it out yet. Several people on that list, when they found out he was retired, started crying. But again, thank you. You did a great job.
Take a half a step to your right, please. Thank you. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And a second. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Get over it, so.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce some visitors that we have here. We have a number of former legislators. First, I would like to reintroduce Legislator X, Jim Oldenburg. Raise your hand. And also now Legislator Schott. You're not X, you're Legislator.
I would like to introduce Amy Trusader. She was the legislator for 8 years.
Yes, Legislator Trusader was here from I think 2010 to 2015. We miss her. That seat is now held by Jay Scanlon, so if there's any leftover problems, see Jay. Legislator House, public speakers on resolutions of the day. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite forward Mike Franklin. We'll have 5 minutes to speak on resolutions currently PS6 and PS9. Thank you.
Mike Franklin from West Monroe. Regarding GC1, as far as the equalization rates, I don't have a position on which way you vote on it, but what I do note is only 2 of the townships are at 100% equalization. And that's problematic because they were paid by the taxpayers to be at 100%, and they're not. I'm from West Monroe and they're at 100%, so I applaud West Monroe. And what the city of Oswego did this year was very brave of the mayor and the town attorney. I thought that he handled it extremely well. Difficult process to go through, but sometimes you got to do what you're supposed to do. And the city of Oswego did that, and I applaud them. But all the rest of the townships in Oswego are at less than 100% equalization. And what that does is it puts the assessor in a very difficult position to be able to do their job properly. And sometimes it encourages them to do illegal things like pinning purchase prices and things of that nature. And if they were at 100%, they wouldn't have to worry about that. And the reason that they're not all at 100% is because the politicians don't like to stir up the public, because the quickest way to get voted out of office is to have a rebound. But the thing is, you're paid to do it. And when you get paid to do a job and you don't do it, it's called fraud. So it needs to be done, and the county needs to encourage them to get it done. They're taking money from the taxpayers to do a job, and they're not doing it. They need to do it. And also, it just makes it so the assessor can do their job properly, and it just puts them in a very bad position when they're not 100%. As far as the district attorney getting money for furniture, I ask you to vote against that. The district attorney needs to realize and take into consideration taxpayer money, and they're pretty loose with the taxpayers' money. They just had a case where they're going to get sued. They prosecuted someone unnecessarily. It's completely ridiculous. The sheriffs did not investigate the matter properly. If the district attorney was going to prosecute somebody, it should have been the deputy who was violating somebody's rights. And so now the district attorney prosecuted the matter, and then they didn't follow through in their prosecution, and the case got dismissed because they didn't file in a timely manner. That's what's known as malpractice. And the district attorney represents the taxpayers of this county, and he just participated in malpractice of not if you're going to prosecute it. If you're not, don't. So they just wait. There's going to be a lawsuit, and they're going to waste more than $85,000 that he wants for this furniture. So I'd say give the district attorney a year to demonstrate that they respect the taxpayers' money, and maybe next year they can get some furniture. They should get no luxury items until they demonstrate that they can represent the taxpayers properly. And I don't think that they need to be expanded because they're taking on cases that are unnecessary. So why do they need more people when they shouldn't be prosecuting what it is they're prosecuting? It's absurd. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving now to reports of county officials. Any report of standing committees? Any report of special committees? Legislator Chisholm.
Excuse me, yes, a couple things. I just wanted to announce that Central New York Fair Housing will be providing free workshops for tenants as well as landlords. They will be coming to Oswego November 21st at the community room here right in the library. And it's all about the rights and responsibilities of tenants as well as landlords. There is a sheet in the back there on the table for anyone that wants to scan, give it to someone so they can register for these free workshops. I'd also like to, on another note, be able to once again talk to everybody about what's going on in Oswego through our tourism. We've got everything obviously holiday related. We've got anything from trivia events. We've got the trivia night, bunco extravaganzas. We've got a lot of Central New York Art Center presentations. It's 2 pages, it's right in the back there, and I think if you say you don't have anything to do, check these out. There's something for every member of the family. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving then to resolutions and motions, Government Courts and Consumer Affairs Resolution GC1 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution establishing the 2024 county equalization rates for towns and cities within Oswego County.
This is for the state of New York Department of Taxation and Finance for real property. It's establishing equalization rates. We have a couple that are 100%, plus 6,000% evaluation.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Mr. Chairman, how does the county itself come or arrive at your equalization rate?
You know, these are state-derived, essentially a formality that we have.
So the state,
The county's not an assessing unit. The rates in part are based on assessments and the ratio formula. There are provisions in the law that the county can have an equalization committee, but that is rarely used. These come from SBEA, and the county has to adopt these rates.
so towns and villages would fall under the same thing?
Towns and cities have assessors. I'm not aware of any village assessors. And they are assessing units.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Legislator Franklin.
I know you answered the question already, but how does the county come up with a 72%? How do we come up with that for the county? I mean, we're only at 72%. How do we get to 100%? Has everybody got to be at 100%? For us to be at 100%? So it's an average that we got?
I don't know if it's an average. This is something, these are worked out by New York State. I don't know if 72 is the average of all those numbers below.
There's a formula.
These are state
There's
formulas.
a formula?
Same for every county in the state. We can send you that, but the county does not determine that number. The state does.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC2 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of a confidentiality agreement with Constellation Energy Generation LLC and 9 Mile Point Nuclear Station LLC regarding real property tax negotiations.
Yes, this is just a confidentiality agreement, but it's still under negotiation.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC3 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the intermunicipal agreement by and between the cities of Oswego and Fulton for weights and measures contract.
This is where the legislators authorize and execute an intermunicipal agreement for weights and measures contract. The city of Oswego, amount of $13,200. The city of Fulton, amount of $11,000 per year. And the term will run from January 1st, 25 through December 31st, 2027.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC4 by Legislator Holmes.
Chairman, I'll offer this resolution urgent to adopt.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement awarding $486,488 in ARPA funds with the Oswego County Board of Cooperative Educational Services, City Boasters.
Is this for the plan improvement of the existing CMA lab facility with green and authentic manufacturing lab environment, which will help replicate the real world settings and the young adults?
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Public Safety Committee, Resolution PS1 by Legislator Greco.
Chairman, I offer this resolution to recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the Oswego County Emergency Management Office to accept funding from the Walmart Spark Good Local Grant.
It's in the amount of $500, bringing their total to $1,500 for the year that Walmart donated towards our growth.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Do we get any extra money from Walmart for all the police support we have to have out there?
It's $500.
Well, we need a lot more than that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS2 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution to recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification to transfer funds from personnel examination line to other fees and services for the Emergency Management Office.
This is the amount of $2,000 we've been doing is taking the tuition for the class and paying the instructors.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS3 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution to recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification for the Emergency Management Office to accept funding from the Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for FY 2024 State Homeland Security Program.
Yeah, this is approximately $464,000 to support and implement New York State Homeland Security initiatives. $58,000 of which needs to contribute to law enforcement, terrorism preventive activities.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS4 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution to recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, fire coordinator cost to remove hazardous foam.
So this is 6 55-gallon drums of foam that's no longer going to be used, and it's going to cost us $13,000.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS5 by Legislator Greco.
Offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting revenue from County of Oswego Local Law Number 3 of 2024 entitled Oswego County Traffic Diversion Program.
So this is in the amount of approximately $85,000 to be distributed to the county, the towns, and district attorney's office.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Yes, I would like to ask the clerk to read the summary and also the fiscal impact, please.
The summary of the,
Summary on the informational part, on the back of the resolution. If not you, then maybe the chairman of the committee could.
Would offer that Mr. Castillo is quite capable of reading it himself.
Well, the people behind me can't.
Then you should read it to him, sir.
I'm sorry, sir, that's your job.
I believe it is.
Yes, it is.
the most recent deposit we received from the traffic diversion program was in the amount of $85,000 for the month of August. 33% shall be distributed and paid at least quarterly to the city, town, or village where the traffic ticket offenses originated. 34% of The administrative fee shall be retained by the County of Oswego to be paid into the general fund. 33% of the administrative fee shall be placed in a custodial account in the district attorney's office budget to be designated traffic diversion revenue to defray general prosecution, investigation, training, and related prosecution expenses. Said account not to exceed $200,000 at any given time, and should the account exceed said balance, any overage shall be paid to the County of Oswego to the general fund.
Any other discussion?
The fiscal impact, please.
What was that, sir?
The fiscal impact.
Your question?
No, I'm asking you to read fiscal impact.
This will all be revenue for the county, the district attorney, and the local courts to offset the costs of prosecution, investigation, and training for traffic-related crimes.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS6 by legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution to recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification for office cubicles, furniture, and equipment in the district attorney's office.
Mr. Chairman, this will need to be amended to have the funds come out of fund balance.
Good motion. So it's a motion to amend?
Sir.
Do we have a second? Second. Do we have any discussion? Legislator Steele.
So you're taking the money out of the fund balance, not out of the district attorney's money? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. So do we understand the amendment in front of us? Any other discussion? All those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Back to the original then, as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS8 by legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution to recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification for sheriff's office school safe overtime.
This is $6,000 they need to move for overtime for school safety. They're going to move it from transportation to recovery costs.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS9 by legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution to recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, district attorney's office, additional hours.
So one employee is taking extended family leave, and he needs additional hours for 2 other workers to make up the workload.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Human Services Committee, Resolution HS1 by legislator Rehill.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification to increase capital project number 1422, Camp Survey infrastructure improvements.
Mr. Chairman, do you have something you wanted to say about that one?
Yes, I would note that this, our county continues, and our legislative body continues to improve our parks and recreation communities across Oswego County. And this resolution aims to increase Camp Zerby's capital project 1422, infrastructure improvements for additional development. These project upgrades are the gateway to greater community engagement, improved physical health, and enhanced quality of life for everyone in Oswego County. I urge my colleagues to adopt this resolution.
And this is in the amount of increasing that capital project by $2,430.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS2 by legislator Rehill.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing reclassification of one employment specialist to an employment specialist assistant, Department of Social Services.
This would reclassify a vacant employment specialist, co-op grade 10, to an employment specialist assistant, co-op grade 6. A recent retirement of an employment specialist provided an opportunity to assess the current job duties and determine ongoing need within the team. This will actually reduce the budget this year and next year.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS3 by legislator Rehale.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing member to the Child Protection Advisory Council, Department of Social Services.
I know, that's a mouthful. I just call it CPAC. CPAC recommends the appointment of Tammy Sheldon as she is actually the Director of Student Support Services for the Fulton City School District and has an extensive background supporting child development and safety. She has expressed an interest in assistance to the council and will be an important contributor to the mission of CPAC.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS4 by legislator Rehale.
For the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services Home Energy Assistance Program, other supplies and expenses.
The Home Energy Assistance Program is otherwise known as HEAP. The budget mod would transfer a portion of previously accepted federal funds for HEAP to increase HEAP contractual expenses. This is in the amount of $5,000 moved over to the Office of the Agent.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS5 by legislator Rehale.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, Adult and Family Services, additional hours.
Our services staff has been working additional hours in some instances overtime to meet the demand of increased workloads and unfilled vacancies. This is in the amount of $13,000. Will not change the current budget neutral.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS6 by legislator Rehale.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, New York State Shelter Arrears Eviction Forestallment Allocation Acceptance. Now that one was a mouthful.
I know. We get those big words. Budget modification accepts New York State Shelter Arrears Eviction Forestallment, or SAEF program funds in the amount of $90,967. So this is obviously budget.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I'd just like to know where these facilities are going to be, Roy. Do we know that now, or is there a list?
This is for individuals apparently that get into a little bit of trouble.
Right. That's what I understand that. I understand they're
So I
being
don't have-
evicted, and
no.
where are they going to? Where are we going to put them?
Well, it's typically, it's the forestallment of eviction. So it allows them to stay in their homes and it pays their current landlord.
All right, so they're going to stay in their homes. Okay,
It
thank you.
allows people to stay in.
But just to be clear, I think Legislator Castillo, you were talking on the next resolution rather than this one.
Both of them. I got questions on both of them.
Okay.
Can't wait.
All right.
I know. I know you can't, but.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Legislator Martinez left the chambers. The count is 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution HS7 by Legislator Rehale.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, New York State Code Blue allocation acceptance.
So this budget modification is to accept 24-25 Code Blue season allocations from the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, also known as OTDA. The amount is $126,893. Code Blue alerts must be called when temperatures are expected to fall below 32 degrees Fahrenheit with wind chill for at least 2 consecutive hours. The Code Blue funds support the mandated costs associated with meeting requirements for sheltering homeless individuals. The county experiences an average of 150 nights of Code Blue annually. No fiscal impact on this, as Code Blue funds are reimbursed 100% based on their allocation amount.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I'm going to ask this question, Roy, because as it is in most, throughout the whole county, we're running into more and more homeless, and the city of Fulton is getting inundated with them, and they're asking, what are we doing for the homeless? And this Code Blue is going to ask me more and more. So where would the Code Blue be, where would it be going to, and when we find them?
We have a warming shelter, and it's my understanding, I think, that we help to transport people to the warming hut or the warming situation. Is that correct? So for now, that's the only location that we have.
Where is
Well,
the
we
shelter?
have 150 nights annually of Code Blue. It's not like we have 150 people asking on the same night. It's actually a relatively low number of people that are seeking that on a given night.
Where is the shelter, though? Where is the warming shelter?
There's one in the city of Oswego with the Victory House over at West First Street corner, first on 9th.
Is there any other?
Transformation. No, sir.
No?
It's actually in the basement of Pontiac.
It is now.
Yep, separate.
Yes.
That's why I'm asking. They're going to ask me where is it going to be, and I'm sure that the city of Fulton will be in touch with the SS. I know what to do. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, Legislator Martinez back in the chamber says 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS8 by Legislator Rita.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution reappointing members to the Community Services Board, Department of Social Services, Division of Mental Hygiene.
The Community Services Board is a statutory body of 15 members created in accordance with provisions of New York State mental hygiene law. The board helps oversee all mental health, developmental disability, and addiction programs. The appointments are made by us in the county legislature for a term of 4 years. These 3 appointments would expire 3/31 of 2029. It's Mr. Robert Ireland, a reappointment, Sarah Sunday, reappointment, and Dr. Julie Landy, reappointment.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS9 by Legislator Rita.
I offer this final resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, New York State Child Care Block Grant Allocation Acceptance.
This allocation is in the amount of $1,830,817. I'm sorry. It said $1,830,017. Used to increase available funding for the increased low-income daycare program expenses. A portion of the funding is directly to the child care program, and a portion of the allocation will be used towards salaries and administrative expenses.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to Economic Development Planning Committee, Resolution EP1 by Legislator Chesler.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, transfer of Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act funds to a separate account for auditing purposes, Department of Workforce Development.
Yes, this is strictly a auditing correction that New York State requires that all WEO funds go into a separate account of different from just workforce. So we are just transferring $326,000 of WEO funds into their own specific account.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP2 by Legislator Chesbro.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution designating the Oswego County Department of Community Development, Tourism and Planning as the sole tourism promotion agency for the county of Oswego for the calendar year 2025.
Yes, this is something that we have to do every year for the New York State, in as much as we have to officially designate who is going to be our tourism department. So we are officially designating that our own Oswego County Department of Community Development, Tourism, and Planning is our designated planning tourism department.
Understood. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstentions.
Thank you. Resolution EP3 by Legislator Chesbro.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract RFP 24-CDTP-001, Oswego County Comprehensive Plan Consultant Service.
I understand, Mr. Chairman, you wanted to say a few words?
Yes, if I could.
I allow.
Following resolutions 3 and 4, to update our Oswego County Comprehensive Plan, we're updating our plans for future growth and development. This RFP has been awarded to Environmental Design and Research for the total cost of $143,410 to be funded through internal ARPA funds. Updating this plan will evaluate Oswego County's resources, our use of land, and identify areas for improvement. Having said that, any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
Jim, I understand that, but my question is, we really can't do this in-house? You don't think we're capable of that?
Our staff does not feel they have the time needed to devote to this.
So you're going to assume that we will realize a cost savings greater than the study cost?
Mr. Chairman, may I speak with this? Yes. What it will do, it's going to give us enough of a professional project here, delivered to us with all of the whistles and bells that the state needs in order for us to get grant money. So we will be able to get more grant money and showing everything that they're doing surveys and going and doing meetings. A lot of time goes into developing this as well as going through all through. So this is basically, we're spending nickels to get the dollars here.
To optimize grant funding?
Exactly.
Last question.
Yes.
Did we save a lot from the poverty study? Just trying to see on a study-to-study basis? Did we realize significant savings?
Honestly, I don't know that they're related, but
No, I'm just saying for these studies, I'm just curious.
Legislator Rita.
Well, I would say, I mean, yeah, it's almost unquantifiable how much we got back from that. I mean, to the initiation of the Imagination Library that's distributed 200,000 books to children between 0 and 5 years old. That we know that kids are going to read at 3rd grade level. We're already starting to see the results from that over the past couple of years. There are splitting off workforce, starting the land bank. There's just a whole host of things that happened out of that initial study. Basically dozens of programs that we were able to get. I think we brought about $8 million into Oswego County from the Alliance for Economic Inclusion that Tim Stahl and I both served on. 5-county committee that was created by New York State to help utilize $30 million in poverty funding. $8 million of that came to Oswego County. So I think it's unquantifiable right now in real terms, how it's going to, what a poverty study affected generational poverty in Oswego County.
Thank you. I would add that not just in my political capacity, but the professional capacity and my personal capacity, one of the first things that any major statewide, nationwide group comes to anybody that I've talked to, they want to know what you're planning, what's your zoning, what's your resources.
Would this potentially help us with sewers?
Yes. Legislator Gregory.
Mr. Chairman, we've also asked the towns to upgrade their comprehensive plans as well and bring them up to speed, so it wouldn't make any sense for us not to do it. It's all been part of our bigger picture and bigger plans, so we can coordinate this all together long term.
Correct. Thank you. Legislator Castillo.
Chairman, I tend to disagree that it should be done in-house. If anybody's looked at the comprehensive plan from 2007, you can see that the planning department, OOC, and IDA have knowledge and resources to performed this. Most information in the last one was obtained from Wikipedia, U.S. Senate, censors, and U.S. labor reports. There's nothing in these, comprehensive plans that isn't available to anybody at any point in time. I mean, what did we do with the last comprehensive plan? What did we accomplish? And also in 2017, we did an economic advancement plan. That was done by a company out of Syracuse. What have we done with that? Like I said in the committee, when I spoke on this in the committee, these are ideas and what we should do. What have we done? I mean, you're saying that we're asking the towns and cities and villages to redo their comprehensive plan. The city of Fulton did one 2 years ago, and now they're looking to do another one because of something that's come up. But they didn't do anything with what they had. What have we done to accomplish what was said to be accomplished in the last two plans that we had paid for? The last one cost us $79,000. And this one's going to cost us $143,000. What have we done to move ourselves forward?
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 2 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP4 by legislator Chesbro.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, community development, tourism and planning comprehensive plan.
This is simply showing how we're going to fund it through ARPA funds to be able to pay for the comprehensive plan.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I make a motion to amend this and have, if not all, half of the cost paid for by IDA and OOC. I mean, at least half of it. But the reason being is they could use some of that 10% pilot money that we give them every year, that's $200,000 almost. This is wasteful spending of ARPA funds, and I don't think we should be spending it on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I make a motion to amend it.
Do you have a second? Second by legislator Schott. So to be clear, we'll vote on the amendment first. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that's 3 in favor, 0 opposed, and 0 excused, and 2 opposed.
Okay then, back to the original. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 2 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving now to the Health Committee, Resolution HE1 by legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing use of insurance recovery funds to replace a vehicle in the health department.
So the health department had a vehicle that was owned by Oswego County involved in an accident. It ended up being totaled, and the insurance recovery fund has paid $17,677 for that. And they are going to apply that to the rental program of a vehicle that the health department started a couple of years ago, has been very successful. So it's budget neutral.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE2 by legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Chairman and fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification for Oswego County Health Department to increase preschool committee on preschool special education funds.
So there has been a significant increase in the number of special education students, and the additional funding needed is $7,175. The health department has moved money around to cover that cost, and that is budget neutral again.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE3 by legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing acceptance of Healthy Families Award and add 2 positions and budget modification for Oswego County Health Department.
So, the good news is that the Healthy Families Program has been extremely successful with the waiting list. The state of New York has granted an award that has increased us by $251,154, and it requires the additional hiring of 2 staff members. Part of that money will be used to complete out the year 2024. The rest will carry over into 2025. This is a grant. The expectation and following what New York has done in the past, they will continue to fund this. If they do not, as a grant position, those positions would go away if we don't have the additional funding granted in the next cycle.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Infrastructure, Facilities, and Technology Committee. The first resolution and the third resolution deal with building safety and security for the county employees and the residents by continually upgrading the outdoor video surveillance systems and the county buildings' security. These necessary resources will keep our employees safe and our buildings secure. Resolution IT-1 by Legislator House.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution increasing capital project number 0521 for Phase 3, Oswego County Building Security.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this phase 3 is $110,000 goes to Butter Street when we get it completed.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Carrasco.
I think it's unfortunate that as time marches on, we find ourselves in a position that we need to do more security in order to protect not only the employees, but other functions that go on in the county, and I support this resolution.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution 92. Legislator House.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I understand we're going to pull this. It never went through the proper purchasing.
Perhaps, but it's bold.
It's both.
Thank you. Resolution IT-3 by Legislator House.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, supplementing existing capital project to fund video system upgrade Phase 2 by the Department of Information Technology.
Yeah, the capital project comes in an amount of $1,444,000, excuse me.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT-4 by Legislator House.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing execution of a supplemental agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation on behalf of the State of New York, Comptroller's Contract D 040631, PIN 3756.98, BIN 3366930, bridge replacement Maple Ave, Lacona.
Yes, this is for a bridge replacement, as the clerk said, Maple Ave in Lacona.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT-5 by Legislator House.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution to transfer funds from sales of equipment to other equipment to purchase a lawnmower and chainsaws, Highway Department.
Yeah, this was an auction we acquired the money from back in August from Highway. And as it's read, it says to purchase a lawnmower and chainsaw. This goes back into their fund to purchase these pieces of equipment.
Correct. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT-6 by Legislator House.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution to increase authorization for capital project number B0521, County Route 28 Bridge over South Bridge, Grindstone Creek, Highway Department.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this, for the tune of 1.279 for the replacement of this bridge comes out of CHIPS.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT 7 by Legislator House.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution establishing capital project number E0624, Highway Department, to purchase 2 pickup trucks.
Okay, these purchased 2 pickup trucks for the sum of $94,800, and they, when they're put into service, they go to the head of the class where, like in the wintertime, they run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, checking roads.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
I support the purchase of equipment, but the more I thought about this, is why wasn't this not the 5-year plan?
Well, Mr. Church might be able to explain that, but that's the difference between our 5-year plan and capital. Mr. Walker?
Yes, on the pickups, we put into CHIPS, our 5-year plan, that's all CHIPS, the 5-year plan we buy for CHIPS. The pickups, we try to get 2 or 4 a year because we have so many people running them, and we get 300,000-400,000 miles on them over time. So they just rotate right down through the.
We have bought some in the 5-year plan, though, haven't we?
Yes, the 5-year plan, the last time we did it, it was, you didn't take it right.
A plan is a plan. Sometimes you have to deviate from it. If the highway superintendent has identified a need to replace 2 of his trucks, you can't necessarily identify that maybe 4 or 5 years in advance. I think this is an addition to this plan that needs to make. It's okay to change the plan if the circumstances change.
Thank you.
Legislator Seeley.
I understand what you just said, okay, and I understand the highway superintendent. And what I'm asking is, why wouldn't we put this in next year's budget? How are we gonna pay for it out of a capital project? Where's that money gonna come from?
We have a reserve for automotive equipment, which we bolstered over the last couple of years because we had fund balance. So by taking it out of the reserve, we don't have to put it on the taxes next year. Put it in the budget, it's going to be on the taxes.
Okay, so you're taking it out of the reserve that you've set aside to purchase this type of equipment.
Right.
Okay, so that's more or less like the 5-year plan. You just didn't put it in the 5-year plan. These 2 vehicles did not come out of the 5-year plan.
Right.
Okay, so our plan was flawed a little bit, but not great. I'm not saying no to the possibility of the trucks. I'm saying no to where we're taking the money from, but we're taking it out of a reserve that we've set aside for that, then yes, I will be in favor. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT 8 by Legislator House.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste Landfill and Transfer Station, salary and wages account, and overtime payments account.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, stations have been dealing with the turnover of employees, multiple projects, and open positions. The overtime account has been significantly depleted in this regard, so this department requires this transfer to accommodate continuing overtime payments.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT 9 by Legislator House.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution of a snow and ice control agreement with the State of New York Department of Environmental Conservation, Angler Access Areas.
Okay, so basically, the DEC had been working with us, and then they decided they could do it cheaper or some other way, and now they're coming back to us to be able to keep their angler access areas open for the winter.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT 10 by legislator House.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution urge its adoption.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract RFP 24-ERF-001 feasibility study, energy recovery facility.
And this contract was awarded to Barton & Jewis.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to the Finance and Personnel Committee, Resolution FP1 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 8 of the year 2024 entitled A Local Law Overriding the Tax Levy Limit for Fiscal Year 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is, we do this yearly. We do this as a protection on us due to the nuclear negotiation of the contracts. Again, it's done yearly. This will be December 12th at 2 p.m.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP2 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution creating one new temporary position in the Human Resources Department.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is for a position to shadow an administrative secretary that is retiring. We are losing a lot of knowledge, and our department head has identified that this would be a good thing to shadow over. So when she does decide, when she does her imminent retire, we will be able to backfill.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP3 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the reclassification of one position in the Human Resources Department.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a reclassification of typist grade 3 to a human resources assistant grade 4. It's all in the same bargaining unit. There is no fiscal impact.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP4 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution amending resolution number 305 of 2024 awarding a professional services contract regarding dental plan services, RFP 2024 HR 01 to Excellence Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There was a slight difference in the actual number that we had when we originally did this agreement. It now needs to read, instead of $118,000, it is now $119,898. We just needed the actual specific number to plug in, so we had all the way down.
So is that a motion to amend?
No, it's already done.
Oh, the resolution amends it prior.
The resolution amends that.
Gotcha.
I'll just give you the back number.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Shaw.
How many people are in this plan?
This is for probably about 100.
Could I have Director Bell answer that?
Well, we're rolling it out during open enrollment, so we're not sure how many department that are in the management plan will be or what coverage they'll choose, so it's unknown right now. It's offered to all of our management plan, which is
About 100.
a little over 100.
Yeah. So
The max over 100?
Yeah, but it all depends on who actually wants.
Right.
And this doesn't commence until January 1.
Right.
So who brokered this contract?
It was done through the RFP process through
Yes.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 2 opposed, and 3 abstaining.
Thank you. Resolution FP5 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing county administrator to execute interdepartmental contracts for legislatively approved uses of American Rescue Plan Act funds.
This is basically what it says. Unfortunately, because it is federal monies, it has to be denoted to each individual area. It's internal funds. This gives our county administrator, Mr. Church, the power and permission that what is passed through our legislative body, he can actually make a contract with ourselves, with the department head. It sounds kind of odd, but that's the way it needs to be done to meet the federal guidelines.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP6 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for public hearings on the tentative county budget for the year 2025.
Just as it says, it's setting the time and place for the public hearing, which will be December 12th, 7 p.m. at the Legislative Office Building, Chambers, right here.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Resolution FP7 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Clerk, please read the heading.
Resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego local law number 9 of the year 2024 entitled A Local Law Amending Local Law number 3 of 2021, providing for the salaries of certain elected officers of the County of Oswego.
As we have learned, we have to do this yearly. This public hearing will be December 12th in these chambers at 2 p.m.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I just wonder, why would we have to do it yearly if we're setting a 3-year or 4-year plan? Then we're not going by that plan, we're going to change it. I mean, why are we setting a 3 or 4 year? Why don't we just do a 1-year plan each year? I mean, you said it in 2021, we set a 5-year plan. We didn't stick to that. 2023, we changed it. Now we're changing it again. I mean, you know, I'm not being in favor of this. I'm sorry. It's why people question
Right,
people.
You do not need to do it yearly. If you wish to change the salaries in the local law as it presently reads, you need to amend the local law to fix the salaries for the county officers.
My apologies. My apologies. I thought it was done yearly.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 20 in favor, 2 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP8 by legislator Martino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract, clerk of the legislature, and authorizing budget modification.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a contract with software to assist our county, our clerk of the legislature with such tasks as FOILs, resolutions, and other record-keeping materials. This is in the amount of $23,317, and it does have an $18,000 maintenance there.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Legislator House.
Yes, we need to waive the rules for GC5 only.
Do you have a second? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Resolution GC5 by legislator Holmes. Would the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing commencement of litigation against TCD of Oswego LLC and Thomas J. Millar individually and as responsible party of TCD of Oswego LLC.
This is the county requesting return of the full award based on this statements.
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 excused.
Thank you. Any miscellaneous business? This time, I'm going to call for executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I'd request the body move into executive session to discuss credit or financial history of a particular person or corporation relative to the 9L1, 9L2 tax negotiations.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you. I would anticipate after the executive session, we do have a public comment period. Mr. House, is there people? We will come back in after executive session, allow you back in the chambers, then we will adjourn and then public comment. So, thank you. We are in. Thank you. The regular legislative session is back in session then.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Thank you. Moving now to public comment period. Legislator House has brought me forward Mike Franklin. Thank you, sir.
Mike Franklin from West Monroe. Proceeds from any prosecution, whether it's a parking ticket or any matter, should not benefit the police or the district attorney. It's a conflict of interest, it's unethical, it shouldn't happen, and it undermines the public trust. Should never happen. Should go into some sort of general fund and then should be distributed from there. I think the recent election, to the pleasure of about 22 of you here, I think basically put an end to the discussion about whether or not the police should be properly funded. And I don't think anybody here in Oswego County never thought that they should be properly funded. Of course they should be properly funded, unless you're in favor of anarchy, and I know that I'm not. However, the public is expecting a properly funded, professional, and properly trained sheriff's department. So far, we have a properly funded sheriff's department, but we do not have a professional sheriff's department. And we don't have a properly trained sheriff's department because apparently the sheriff is training the deputies improperly. They think they can ID anybody anytime they want. And it's going to cost the taxpayers money if they don't learn the law. As far as the training is concerned, I'd like to see the legislature here have some control over that to see who is providing the training so that the people who are providing the training actually know the law instead of former cops or whatever training them the way that they've always done it. We need to abide by the law, and the sheriff is not abiding by the law. It is outrageous. I'm 63 years old. I've never gone to a public hearing to speak before, but I saw the body cam footage of the deputies at the incident in New Haven, and I've just never seen such quirky, unprofessional behavior, just outrageous, and it was so clear that deputy had no clue about the law, and they wasted more taxpayer money on this incident. They got the jailers involved, they shackled their legs because they asked at a public meeting, is there going to be minutes for the executive session? That's why that was the arrest. And so the district attorney gets involved, the public defender gets involved, 4 judges are involved, and now the county's going to get sued, and the county's going to have to defend against this lawsuit. So they just wasted more money than the money for the furniture that they wanted. And so the sheriff and the district attorney need to learn how to have respect for the taxpayers' money. Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, I would like to invite Shauna Reddy to come forward. Thank you. You had 5 minutes.
November, the month of gratitude, a month we celebrate Thanksgiving, to celebrate all the blessings, the good things in our lives. My life hasn't always been easy. Some of it is due to my own choices, and some because of choices and actions of others. However, I know that no matter what happens in life, there is still something good, something to be thankful for daily. I'd like to hope that you are grateful for your constituents, your true supporters, and taxpayers. I hope you are thankful for the positions that you hold. It's becoming more and more difficult to believe that another year passes by of voting yourselves raises. As far as I've heard 9 years of it, 2022 was a 6% raise where your constituents, taxpayers, your county workers expressed to you their struggles, only falling on deaf ears. I commend Frank Castilla, Marie Schott, Noel Samuelson, and Kevin Mayo for voting against it. I admire the fact that 2 members of this legislature that I know of donated their raises to worthy causes. Oswego County News Now has said that many current legislators voted in 2021 for the local law, and now they want to change it. Not only does it show greed, but it shows the state. Your word is your bond. If you can't keep your word, then what good is it? It only makes you look like a liar. Salanza commented under a post that I had shared. He said, they are entitled to a wage increase to keep up with price increases. As much as that made sense, what about the rest of the county workers who labor hard in their jobs and continue to be denied, or your constituents who are suffering and struggling? A comment under the county's news article kind of seemed to fit. Public service, more like self-service. These noble public servants are the epitome of selflessness. They dedicate their lives to serving the public as long as serving the public involves decreasing their own wealth and ignoring the needs of their constituents. And from my own perspective, I have seen you guys do some good things. You may not think you owe anyone an explanation. You do. Everyone in this county who pays taxes, who voted for you to sit there and help this county deliver, deserves an explanation. If any one of you ever had to sincerely struggle with your basic needs and not having enough, then you should understand completely. You use your adversity, your struggles in life to be a better person, not a worse one. There is a huge difference between a need and a want, and I'm pretty sure you guys know the difference. A comment under the news article continued towards the end with, it's like watching a live action comedy show, except the punchline is always the same, screw the little guy. Yes, screw the little guy. I have felt that, and I have learned it's all about the money. Many of you who are in the Human Services Committee received the packet during my case, and a couple of you with emails in the beginning of it, knowing CPS wrongfully removed our children based on lies, while you all get funding from the state. $60,000 on child support, we'll never get back from our children being wrongfully removed. And guess what? Our kids barely got even close to that amount. No one helped us, no one offered, and no one cared. Other people and families are being messed with in the same way, and you keep messing your people over. There is a saying that says, gratitude turns what you have into enough. It's not enough for you. It probably never will be, and the rest goes without saying. You cannot wonder anymore or be surprised why people think you're corrupted. Look back at your actions and the reasons for it. Think back on things you said, and most of it can be found online. If you're not corrupted and you care more about others than yourselves, prove me wrong, prove everyone else wrong. Thank you.
Thank you. Could Jess Madison come forward?
Right. Hello, early afternoon legislator body. It's Jess Madison. I'm here again, and I'm just giving you guys a friendly reminder. Yes, I'm still here. I'm still watching, observing, and proudly educating your community. This will be my 3rd time coming to speak to you publicly about the change within our county's budget, and to also graciously remind you that you are elected officials and took an oath of office to uphold the Constitution and to lead with transparency. And yet many of you sit there very comfortable and lead with inadequate disclosure of information. It is honestly shocking that some of you have made it this far. Also, a public meeting at 2 p.m. is absolutely outrageous for the people that you mainly affect. Obviously, we work, and yet you do in such a manner that shows no support towards us. Yes, Mr. Legislator, it is your job to answer the questions and to read the summary up out loud. I think you're sleeping back there. But don't worry, I'm awake and I'm making them all up because change is definitely in order here. To my surprise, I read an article and started reading the agenda that the county legislator will be amending local law 3 from 2021, again, increasing wages for themselves pending a public vote on December 12th at 2 p.m. Now, local law was placed in 2021 with a completed 4-year salary increase budget plan. Your county sheriff at 2025 would have been $111,000. Now with the amendments, it's up to $126,000 pending this vote for 2025. The local law 3 in 2021 had legislators at $14,311 with no changes from the budget from 2022 to 2025. However, now we're here again. You guys make $15,170, and you're about to vote it up to $16,000, where again, it was never placed in the budget for local law 3. It leads me to ask, do you all actually believe that you have listened to your county and your local communities to the best of your ability? I'm sorry that some of you are probably struggling with your retirement from the legislator's salary. My department has come as a whole and pleaded and still continues to negotiate with the legislators for fair wages for social services, from upstairs to downstairs, all programs involved. And you have been the deciding factor on my pay, and now you think you graciously deserve another raise. Why don't you ask the people you represent if you actually deserve it? We voted you in. If you've done your job efficiently and adequately enough, we would vote you a raise. Now I just want to let you know that I am not done here. I am just getting started. I am extending the olive branch to all of you right now to hope that you guys lead with transparency from the people to the government and leaders. I hope you lead with transparency and integrity for the people of your community and districts. I will let it be known right now. I have started a petition to halt the Oswego County legislators from being able to amend and vote on local laws that increase their own raises. As a county employee, I cannot be a county elected official, such as a legislator, because it is a conflict. Don't you think voting on your own raise is a conflict of interest? Do the right thing, take a stand, show us that you're actually here for the right reasons. I understand that sometimes standing up for what is right, it can be uncomfortable, and you might stand alone, but that is what is needed in good leadership. The only thing necessary for triumph for evil is for good men to do nothing. We need to stop seeking popularity and start seeking the truth. Please accept the olive branch, vote no on the December 12th vote, and amend the local laws, or respectfully, we will all get to know each other very well on a professional basis, as I will place my name next to yours on the 2027 legislator, and together we will stand united and make this community strong as it should be for all chosen parties and communities and districts involved. Now, I'm a very Christian person. I would give appreciation when it's due. However, third time, you guys do not deserve another raise. My people deserve more help with our budgets. So I encourage Oswego County to stay humble, stay transparent, and stay focused, my fellow peers. Sign the petition at change.org/local-law-3. 3 is spelled out. Sign the law, make your voice known, make the legislators actually earn this vote and this pay them. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you. Is there any others that would wish to speak? If not, thank you, and I hope to see you all in December.